Is this really the end of crypto? Well, the collapse of FTX has severely damaged the reputations and aspirations of cryptocurrency. The severe and fast fall from grace, Sam Bankman-Fried, was in the upper atmosphere just a few weeks ago. The valuations of FTX, the third largest cryptocurrency exchange at the time, was $32 billion, while his personal wealth was pegged at $16 billion. His ability to impress investors while playing video games made him the darling of Silicon Valley's adoring venture capitalists who predicted he would one day become the first trillionaire in history. He spoke with legislators and funded initiatives to influence the regulations of cryptocurrencies in Washington, serving as the accepted face of the industry. Today, all that remains are a million angry creditors, a number of dubious cryptocurrency companies, and an abundance of regulatory and criminal investigations. An industry with a history of failure and scandals has suffered a catastrophic blow as a result of the fast-moving collapse of FTX. Cryptos looks more corrupt, wasteful, and pointless than it ever has. Recent incidents have demonstrated the needs for regulations of the cryptocurrency sector, which rose from nothing to a $3 trillion market cap a year ago, but the majority of that value has since vanished. The sector might not be able to endure regulation, though. Up until this point, when Matt Damon's Fortune Favours the Brave advertisement, which was supported by the Singapore-based exchange Crypto.com, initially aired last year, cryptocurrency achieved its height of public awareness. The most well-known cryptocurrency at the time, Bitcoin, was selling for more than $60,000. Today's price of Bitcoin is less than $17,000. Therefore, anyone who made a purchase after viewing the Damon advertisement lost more than 70% of their money. According to a recent estimate by the Bank of International Settlements, about 3/4 of investors in the currency have lost money so far since the majority of those who purchased Bitcoin did so while its price was high. Nevertheless, asset prices continue to fall. Investors in Bitcoin have lost about as much money as those who purchased Meta stock, the corporations formerly known as Facebook, at its peak last year. Therefore, dropping prices need not spell the end for cryptocurrencies. Crypto enthusiasts will undoubtedly persevere. The Washington Post reported that many of the people who subscribe to Elon Musk's failed and currently paused attempt to extort money from Twitter users. Don't you guys think we need to inquire as to why organizations like FTX or Terra, the purported stablecoin issuers that collapsed in May, were initially established? After all, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, was the title of the 2008 white paper that launched the cryptocurrency movement and was written by an unknown author using the alias Satoshi Nakamoto. That is, the entire concept was to enable consumers to avoid financial institutions through the use of electronic tokens whose validity was confirmed using methods taken from cryptography. You wouldn't need to rely on Santander or Citigroup to keep track of the transactions if you wanted to transmit money to someone else. All you need to do is provide them with a number or a key. It has never been entirely clear why anyone would want to do this beside criminals, despite the fact that proponents of cryptocurrency frequently cite the 2008 financial crisis as inspirations for their efforts. That crisis had no impact on the payment system, which allows for bank-to-bank money transfers. Nevertheless, the notions of a monetary system that wouldn't necessitate in-trust banking organizations was intriguing and perhaps merited exploration. But after 14 years, cryptocurrencies have hardly changed the way that money is used in society. They are too awkward to be used for everyday business. They have too erratic values. In fact, only a small minority of investors even bother to have their own crypto keys on hand. There is simply too much danger involved in doing so, such as storing them on a hard drive that gets disposed of in a landfill, for example. Rather, most people buy cryptocurrencies from exchanges like Coinbase, and yes, FTX, which take your money and hold cryptocurrency tokens in your name. These exchanges are financial institutions, and you guessed it, their ability to draw in investors hinges on their ability to earn that investors' trust. In other words, the cryptocurrency ecosystem has essentially transformed into the systems of financial intermediaries it was designed to replace, one whose capacity to function hinges on how trustworthy people consider them to be. Why such a sector of the economy that has at best just reimagined conventional banking have any fundamental value? Furthermore, confidence in traditional financial institutions depend in part on Uncle Sam's endorsement. The government oversees banks, controls the risk they can take, and backs many deposits. But cryptocurrency is mostly unregulated. Investors must therefore trust in the integrity and skill of entrepreneurs. When they provide particularly good deals, investors must have faith not only in their skills but also in their brilliance. As enthusiasts are fond of reminding us, earlier forecasts of cryptocurrencies' impending destruction were incorrect. In reality, just because Bitcoin and its competitors aren't truly usable as money doesn't always mean that they lose value. After all, you could say the same thing about gold. But it's difficult to see what advantage these companies would have over conventional banks if the government ultimately steps in to regulate crypto enterprises, which would, among other things, stop them from guaranteeing returns that they couldn't possibly provide. There is a solid argument that the crypto business, which loomed so big just a few months ago, is heading for oblivion even if the value of Bitcoin doesn't go to zero, which it still might. Expect ongoing discussions on cryptocurrency regulations as lawmakers in Washington, D.C. and throughout the world attempt to develop rules and laws that will make Bitcoin safer for investors and less desirable to hackers. U.S. government representatives have expressed a strong interest in stablecoin regulations, particularly in light of the most recent Terra Luna crash. The stablecoin Terra USD depegged from the dollar in May as a result of the collapse in cryptocurrency markets, which also brought about a drop in the associated cryptocurrency Luna. As a result of the dire market conditions, several crypto firms announced layoffs and blocked withdrawals in an effort to reduce costs. Since then, some companies have declared bankruptcy, including Celsius and Three Arrows Capital. Because of the snowball effect, federal officials have suddenly had greater ammunition to advocate for crypto regulations. It is obvious that strict regulations may be coming soon in the wake of the disastrous events that have occurred in the cryptocurrency market over the past several weeks. Regulators may have been seeking an excuse to impose severe restrictions on cryptocurrencies because of the failure of DeFi lenders. Even though there is still more to be done, there have been significant regulatory advancements in 2022. The responsive development of digital assets, including stablecoins, is the subject of an executive order that President Joe Biden signed in March and directed federal departments to investigate. The first framework resulting from President Biden's executive order on digital assets was just released by the U.S. Treasury Department. It describes how the U.S. should interact with foreign nations over digital assets. So, what new regulations could mean for investors? Although the idea of cryptocurrency regulations can be contentious, many experts believe it will be beneficial to both investor and the sector as a whole. Increased regulations may lead to greater stability in the famously unstable cryptocurrency market. As long as it achieves the appropriate balance, it may also have the ability to safeguard long-term investors, stop fraudulent conduct within the crypto ecosystem, and offer clear advice to allow companies to innovate in the crypto economy. Everyone benefits from wise regulation. It increases people's trust in cryptocurrency, but I believe we need to take our time and do it properly. In already unpredictable markets, regulatory news may have an impact on cryptocurrency prices because of market volatility. Alright guys, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button as well.